Good girl. Let's get set up with a little YouTube. Hi friends, welcome to Funshine Fab Crochet. I am Kelsey and today we're making mittens. What kind of mittens? Okay, we'll get to it. Calm down. I like to work with the yarn I have. You know I love to buy yarn, who doesn't? But I saw this big old basically full skein of red yarn and I thought, what kind of mitten can I make that's red? And then it hit me. Lobster claw, obviously. I'm always trying to come up with mittens that are like this shape, so obviously mouths would be great. I saw shark mittens, shittens, on Pinterest, and I was like, those are cute. I want to make those. And I do have great yarn, so stay tuned. We might be making some shark mittens one day. To prep for my mitten making, I have been making mittens out of frogged projects, just to remind myself how to do them, because I don't think I've made mittens in years. And I made these too, out of, I think I frogged a vest to make these. What did I frog to make these? I can't remember. And then also, the reason I don't have long to crochet today is because I am meeting someone to sell this. I was asked to make a character from the video game Garden of Banban. Don't know if you've heard of it. I've heard of it, but I've never played it, even though I'm a big indie horror type girl. So that's kind of the stuff I've been working on this week. Let's get started on the claw. Also, I will tell you as I get to flowing on this, I usually watch true crime while I crochet or maybe a scary movie. But lately I have strayed just this week and I've been watching stuff about The Sims 4. And if you know me, you know I'm a big simmer, but I've been watching lore about the game and I'm so into it. I've also been thinking about just crocheting a whole like plushy lobster, because at our house, I don't think I've ever showed this, but we have an underwater corner that I'm looking at, and I've got like crocheted jellyfish and a crocheted mermaid in like a macrame hammock. And then we have a shark hanging on the wall that we got from a woman who had gotten it from a closed down seafood restaurant. It's one of our most prized possessions. We got it for like, I think she asked like $120 for it. And if you ever looked at these sharks, I mean, it's like almost 4 feet long. It's pretty big. If you've ever looked these up, they sell for like $400. So when we saw she was asking like $125, we were like, we need it. And she was in Chattanooga, I want to say, which is kind of a little trek for us, but not too bad. And we were going to meet her and she was like, oh, actually, I'm going to be in Knoxville tomorrow. What are the odds? It's like the lights shine down from the heavens so we could get this shark. And we love it. But yeah, that's our little underwater section. I've been thinking about crocheting a lobster to put over there. I think it also needs bubbles. How do you crochet bubbles? I don't know. Oh, and as always, if you see a blanket next to me breathing, it's my dog Sunday. These mittens go a lot faster when I'm not changing colors every couple rows. Who would have thought? To save space, but also to go with the theme of the ocean corner mentioned earlier. We ditched our old Christmas tree and got a palm tree, and it's like 7 feet tall, and we've decided that we're just gonna leave it up all year. We just decorate it for Christmas, and then we'll take off the Christmas decorations, of course, in January, as you do, but leave the tree up. Best decision we ever made. Because it takes up no space at the bottom. We have so much more room for Christmas gifts. I recommend a palm tree if you're trying to save space. It looks cute. But you know, it's supposed to come with 2 coconuts or maybe 3 coconuts. And we didn't get any coconuts. So we told Amazon and they refunded us like $20. So we're just gonna use disco balls when Christmas is over. If you haven't already, I would really, really appreciate it if you consider subscribing. Last week, I hit my goal of 100 subscribers, and that was a really big deal for me. My next big goal is 1,000. I just would be really, really excited to hit that. I mentioned this in my little 100 subscribers celebration video, but I used to be really anxious to post videos on the internet, mostly like Instagram Reels, because that's kind of how I got started. And looking back now, I kind of laugh that I was so scared, because it's like, what's gonna happen? People gonna make fun of me? I don't know. But yeah, 1,000 would be a huge deal to me. After I make these, I'll have the means to, you know, post a tutorial, because it'll be fresh on my mind how I made them. So if you have any interest in making lobster claw mittens, let me know in the comments. I've never made a video where I wasn't wearing my rings. I have 14, I don't know, rings that I wear every day, so I feel naked without them. Doesn't make sense to be wearing my rings and trying on mittens, does it? They'd get caught. I forgot to make my thumb hole this round. I'm making the left hand first, and that is relevant, believe it or not, because I don't like for the seam to be on the top of the hand, so I have to make the thumb hole in different places on each hand so that it's hidden. Got to do a little try on. Okay, I think everything's going peachy. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, do I even know what a lobster's claw looks like? Not really. But scrolling through TikTok the other day, scrolling through Reddit the other day, I saw, I guess, a lobster fisherman, whatever they're called, had caught a lobster that was huge. I forget how old he said it was, but it was older than me. And I didn't realize lobsters could be that old. I also occasionally see videos of people catching blue lobsters. They're so pretty. Sunday is emerging slowly. I think I'm making my last row right here before I add the ribbing at the bottom. Sunday's going back under already. And just a reminder, if you want some help making ribbing or cuffing or whatever at the end of your projects that's nice and stretchy, also makes a nice clean finish, I have a video of how to do that on my channel. Woohoo! Let's get started on that thumb. The first few rows of the thumb are so irritating. Such a small space to work in. So yeah, as I'm working on this thumb, I'm gonna ask you, do you wear mittens? Do you live somewhere where it's cold enough to wear mittens? Do you wear gloves? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, because for the longest time I didn't wear gloves or mittens, but it seems like the older I get, the colder my hands are. So I always keep a pair of mittens in my car now, and I wear them when it's especially cold outside. Also, would you be more likely to wear mittens if they were novelty and cute and funny like this? Or would you be less likely to wear them? I don't know. I'm not sure if people wear mittens. I think they're cute and practical, but then it's like you get inside a place and it's like, what do? You have to put your mittens in your pocket. You better hope you have a pocket, or you're just gonna have to hold them. Same with your hat and your scarf. It can all be too much. I'm starting to see the vision. Something that's crazy about making mittens is I have probably like what I would consider medium length nails for myself right now. Sometimes when I crochet mittens, or have crocheted them in the past, I've had really long nails, and it makes me make this part too long, because I'll wear the mittens later when I have short nails, and I'm like, why is there so much room in here for my hand? I guess girls with really long nails always have cold hands, because there's no way when you have nails this long you're fitting them into a glove or a mitten, right? Woohoo! Flung my hook. I've started to doubt myself as I've gone along and been like, I'm not sure I do know what exactly a lobster's claw looks like. Also, do we eat lobster's claws, or do we just eat their tails? Because it seems like their claws get really big. Way bigger than a shrimp, and we eat shrimp, right? It's such a nice day outside, and it's rained like 3 days in a row, so I'm seeing the sunshine for the first time in a while, it feels like. It's also like over 70 degrees, so making mittens feels kind of crazy. But the heart wants what it wants. And my heart wants lobster claws. Woohoo! I'm just gonna add, I think, some little ripply details because, like I said, I can't remember exactly what a lobster's claw looks like in this moment. I think the detail should be right here where the claws meet. Okay, what is this looking like? Okay, I think I'm making them too small and too close together. Back to the drawing board. All right, fine, I'm gonna Google what lobster claws look like. BRB. Okay, so I looked up lobster claws, and the little claws, what am I trying to say? What are they called? I don't know. The little sharp parts on the inside are, they're subtle. They're pretty small. So, definitely just a classic case of me thinking about it too hard. And I think the first version looked the best. Oh, do you want out? Look who it is, the woman of the hour. Bye. I think we're getting somewhere. I should have waited to weave my ends in until I had already done this part. But that's okay. When I was looking up how lobster claws look, I also looked up crochet lobster mittens. And I don't know if I saw any crochet ones, but I did see a knit pair that made me be like, okay, this is not an original idea. I always think something's an original idea, and I look it up online and I'm like, nope. Will I ever be the first to come up with a specific crochet project? I don't know. But yeah, I saw some knit ones and they were really cute. Okay, yeah, I think something like that. Cute. All right, let's get started on a second mitten. I'm weaving in the ends more on this one, so I don't have to turn it fully inside out to weave them in at the end. I'm gonna have to take a short break because I have got to go meet this person to give them this jellyfish. So I will be back in moments, really. Get ready for a change in lighting. Okay, who cares about a lighting change, right? I did a me change. It is the same day, believe it or not, despite the lack of makeup now and outfit change. I ended up running more errands than expected. I drove about 30 minutes away to sell that plushie. And then I was like, I'm gonna thrift shop for some yarn. And then I did that, and then Austin came home and we were like, let's go to Aldi. And I don't know, whatever. Along the way, I also took a shower. So the makeup's gone, the outfit changed. I don't know, let's make this claw, or whatever they say. Good girl, lay with me. We had seen this cute little trend, I guess, online where when people would get a new dog food bag, they would open it up and let their dog take one bite, even though it wasn't time for them to eat. And we did that with Sunday today for the first time ever. She loved it. She took 2 big bites, but that's okay. And you know what's funny about that is when we first adopted her, she acted like she didn't like kibble until I started mixing wet food in with it, and then she would eat it. And now looking back, I'm like, I fear you just played me so that you could get wet food. I just realized this lamp is crooked. Well, just the shade, I suppose. Has this lamp shade been crooked this whole time? Oops. Quit licking yourself while I'm trying to talk. You're so cute. So back in the day, I used to get an enormous portion of my yarn from thrift stores. But today, when I went thrifting, I confirmed what I already suspected, which was that I should never buy yarn from thrift stores again. And that is because they charge more for the yarn in thrift stores than they do brand new at stores. The yarn is $4.99 at my local thrift stores. $4.99. That's how much it costs at the store at Hobby Lobby, except it's 30% off every other week. Why would I buy it at the thrift store? They were charging $4.99 for Red Heart yarn. That's $3.79 at Walmart. No more thrifting for yarn for me, unfortunately. All right, and we've got basically the whole mitten done. I just gotta make this thumb bit real quick, and then we can do the details. Also, sorry if it's too dark. I don't know, it's dark outside. But it's November. It gets dark at like 6 p.m. now. Also, speaking of it being November, it was like 75 degrees today. It's almost December. I don't know, that's just not the vibe when you're trying to make some Christmas gifts. Okay, thumbs all done and weaved in, and it is time for some cutesy little details. I'm thinking maybe ones that look like this. I hear some geese flying overhead. All right, friends, the details are detailing. Moment of truth. So cute. Okay. Well, that's that. I'm a lobster now. Now that these are fresh on my mind and I know how to make them exactly, should you want a tutorial for these, just let me know down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, especially thanks for watching to the end. If you have any ideas for future videos, let me know them. But that is all for now. So I will see you guys soon. Bye!